We'll take a look at the next 5 days and follow that storm system that moved across the Great Lakes. It'll be pushing into the Canadian Maritimes. We'll start to see a few snow showers still falling, though, across areas of New York and Pennsylvania. Windy conditions and lake effect snow will still be in your forecast if you live in the snow belt areas of New York and Pennsylvania, even northern sections of Ohio. But it looks like for Michigan and Wisconsin and Minnesota, conditions will definitely be improving for you. The Pacific Northwest, that front that's moving through this evening, will start to move on into the northern plain states. We could see a few showers moving across Utah and Colorado with that front, but high pressure blocking any moisture from moving northward out of the Gulf of Mexico is going to make this a dry scene for the folks across the central plain states as that front pushes on toward the east. High pressure builds into the Pacific Northwest, but a strong onshore airflow will continue to bring you some wet weather across western sections of Washington and Oregon. It's going to be a chilly night overnight tonight. Freeze warnings all the way southward into the deep south in the interior sections of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Temperatures are expected to lower into the 20-degree range. Your afternoon highs will continue to be quite cold behind that low for the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, 20s and 30s there, with teens for the Northeast, the New England region. The Pacific Northwest certainly had their share of rough weather today. Powerful storm system moved on shore. It's now over Idaho and Nevada. Brought some gusty winds east of the Cascades. 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported in Hanford, Walla Walla, and around Spokane. Also reduced visibilities with blowing dust across the area. It's snowing right now in Stampede Pass and in western sections of Washington. About 4 inches of rain fell around the Forks area. Seattle and Tacoma picked up about 3/4 of an inch of rain, while in southern sections of California, not much in the way of clouds and certainly a lot of sunshine for the southwest. Gusty winds along the front range of the Rockies from Montana down to Wyoming, 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported there. And up in Alaska, we'll take a look at what's going on there. As Vince mentioned, snow falling across areas of Anchorage, very cold. Banks, for example, conditions are a little more rough. They reported ice fog today with a high of 20 below and an overnight low of 25 below. Temperatures like that kind of keep you out in the cold. Isn't that something? Take a look at some of the current readings across Alaska. Barrow, 25 degrees below zero. Fairbanks, 38 degrees below zero. And the current reading in Kodiak, 19. In the Hawaiian Islands, 70s and 80s, pretty mild there. For the rest of the nation, let's put this on into motion for you. High and mid-level clouds streaming in across the northern plain states today. Nothing in the way of precipitation there, but then when we go over to the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, plenty of rain for the eastern seaboard. A couple of inches fell in Portland, Maine, with Bangor, Maine. 17 inches of snow in Madison, Wisconsin. 14 inches in some places around the Kalamazoo area. It's headed north and eastward out into the Canadian Maritimes. Still looking at some light rain showers across the Northeast with snow showers across Michigan, areas of Ohio, down through West Virginia. Some of these impressive snowfall totals to pass along to you. There's that 17 inches that I mentioned to you in Madison. Dubuque, 14 inches. Kalamazoo picked up about 12 inches, and South Bend, Indiana, 6 inches of snow. High temperatures today in the teens and 20s across the Great Lakes. It was warm along the eastern seaboard before that front moved on in. Temperatures were in the 50s and 60s. Then they had moving out into the Atlantic seaboard for tomorrow, and a ridge builds across the west with warmer temperatures headed for the western region. We'll go down to the maps and follow that front as it moves out of the Pacific Northwest across the northern plain states. High pressure blocking any moisture from moving northward out of the Gulf of Mexico. Not a whole lot of precipitation with this front. You'll see an onshore airflow in Washington, and with that, about 1/10 of an inch of rain possible there, with more rain in your forecast across the Northeast. Snow there too, lake effect snows to show you in typical snowbelt places of New York and Pennsylvania. Up to 18 inches of new snow could fall across the Washington Cascades above 1,500 feet with the winter storm warning in effect there. Chilly temperatures down into the 20s overnight tonight as far south as Dixie, so prepare for that. It's going to be a cold one. The 30s and 40s for your daytime highs, going to be pushing through the Great Lakes and into the northeastern United States for Thursday, and we'll start to see temperatures moderating a bit for Friday and Saturday. A line of 50-degree readings all the way up to eastern sections of Montana. So hang in there.